We go from 16 right up to 67. Very nice. All of our Renfri's gangs, whole bunch of points. And now we just see if the point slam from the Renfri's gangs will outvalue his vampire engines or not. Renfri's gonna die, so we'll have space on her row for the Scythemen. The question is just, will it be fast enough to get those points before everything gets bled out of being boosted? Free Company's gonna boost them too. There's Oriana. Yeah, it's gonna be engines versus point slam here. It's gonna be a race. Is he gonna do it in time or not? Although, here the Unseen Elder is gonna hurt him because we'll do this now. Look for a lock card off Nilfgaard from the Rune Mage. We do get Rune Mage. Can we get a lock card? We do not. Maybe the Mentor is good though. We'll see how many points he gives us. With Devotion Vampires, you can't draw well a lot of the time. It's one of the downsides, but he did draw well. So we go Free Company. And then we go with the Scythemen. Hopefully, Renfri will be dead by then. I really expected her to get bleeding by now. Okay, there's the bleeding. And we go Free Company, Scythemen, and hopefully that's pretty good. He's catching up, but let's just do Scythemen first, actually. He's going to start bleeding the boosted cards. Because most of these won't even get boosted if we do play the Free Company. A lot of bleeding. Just have a Garkin and an Oriana. Ooh, he's catching up, He does have a Ragus, but with the Free Company boost, I think we're out of Ragus range. That was a pretty close race, but I think we're barely going to win it. But let's see here. There's the Ragus. We win by 7. Good game there. So today we're going to look at this deck, which is a Renfri's Gang deck. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Blue Stripes Commandos. The idea here is we're going to use Renfri's Gang instead of Blue Stripes Commandos to summon out of our deck. There's advantages and disadvantages to this, and we'll talk about that when we get into the deck. So, first of all, we are running Cursed Scroll and Pincer Maneuver. Normally you run Inspired Zeal with the Blue Stripes Commandos to give them Zeal. Let's take a look at the Commandos real quick here. So normally for the Blue Stripes Commandos, you run the Inspired Zeal, right? Because they have the Order ability. And with the Order, you need to be able to trigger that, and then summon all the copies out of your deck. So you run Inspired Zeal. Here we can run Pincer Maneuver to get our key cards better, because we don't actually need that Zeal, because Renfri's Gang has Deploy. Comparison here, Renfri's Gang. So everyone knows this. If your starting deck has 25 units, summon all copies of itself from your deck to this row. Yeah, so you just need the deploy effects. You don't need to have this Inspired Zeal. So we have the Pincer Maneuver instead. That draws us our Dawnmere of Troy and our King Foltest to try and get that combo set up. So that's why I got the leader in Cursed Scroll. Actually, Cursed Scroll is here for Operator primarily. We really want Operator for round 1. To make Renfri's Gang, so that's why we have Cursed Scroll. And if you have that, you can always draw your Renfri or something else you need. As far as the deck we're running Renfri, I honestly consider not running Renfri, but I mean that would just be like trolling too much, so I put her in. If you want to be kind of funny, you could run a round 3 Drog, but I'm pretty sure Renfri's far better. So we do have her in this deck. We have our King Foltest. We're here using him to spawn our extra Renfri's Gangs. So you can do that with him. It's nice. And gets 1 point a turn as well, which isn't the most important thing, but it is there. Then we have Rune Mage, obviously, for Renfri. It's also not a bad tempo card. If you don't want Rune Mage with your Renfri, I don't know why you wouldn't, but you could run a different 10-person card instead. Then we have Dawnmere of Troy for the Defender status. We want to protect that King Foltest. Renfri decks can have trouble answering a Defender with a power card behind it, so that's why we're doing it. You watch all those Purifies, but you should be pretty good here. Then I went with Roach and Knickers for more round 1 tempo. We really want to win that round 1, so we can bring all of our Renfri's Gangs back. Running the Trist Butterflies on the card to search out our key cards we want to get. And then here we have Vernon Roche. He's really good because he plays 2 cards off the top of our deck. If you get to later in the game, for example, round 3, and you want to get out a Renfri's gang after you shuffle him back in with Pavetta, who's our next card, shuffle him all in with Pavetta, and then Vernon Roche should be able to play them off the top of your deck. Then we have Free Company. This is just because... So Free Company and Voimir are very similar. Voimir boosts all copies of a unit by 1 and gives them 1 armor. That's going to be Renfri's gang. And Free Company boosts all bandits by 1, which is going to be basically the same thing. The 1 point boost could hit an extra card because you can hit Knickers because he's a bandit. But basically it's just here as another big boost card. Not sure about this one. You could cut this for something else. But I've always wanted to run Free Company and make a bandit deck. If you've ever seen way back on the channel when the videos were not as good, I did make a bandit deck and it was terrible. But this is the spiritual successor to the bandit deck, but it's a real deck. So I think that this actually works. But yeah, if you don't like Free Company, I don't blame you, you can take it out. But it's here to boost all those Renfri's gangs because we should have round 3, like 8 of them or so at least, and that's a pretty good boost then. Up to you if you want to run it or not. There are cards you could swap out. Then we have the Operator I mentioned. This is for the Renfri's gang. We have Voimir, Knickers. I did throw in Margarita here as a lock card because there's 6 provisions left. So you could change that, but I think having the lock's valuable. I think she's better than Gregoria Vol by this because you can draw her with Pincer Maneuver because she's Northern Realms card. 2 Renfri's gangs. The Scouts are going to spawn more gangs. The Scythemen are here because we're going to boost up a bunch of stuff with Voimir and Free Company probably, and then we can get boost off of him. 2 Pellers, they're here so we can purify our King Foltest if he gets locked, because a lot of times against Renfri decks what they'll do is they'll purify your defender, or they'll use like their removal guy on it like Vilga Forts, and then they'll lock the King Foltest with Gregoria Volt, and you can Peller that off pretty easily. That's why we want 2, because we definitely want that to be happening. Then we have the Cintron Envoys. These are here to set up the Renfri's gang on top of our deck for Vernon Roche. That's pretty much it, or to get your Renfri or something for round 2. But really the key thing is you want to set up Renfri's gang for round 3. And then we have a Siege Ladder just to move the Renfri's gang, or to move King Foltest. It's mainly to move King Foltest round 1, because sometimes they'll purify your defender, and stuff like the Thrive Monsters decks, they'll move your King Foltest not next to the Renfri's gang, but with a Siege Ladder we can move it back. Then we have 1 Squirrel for Graveyard Banish. Now you'll notice here we don't really have much to do against certain combo decks like the Sir Scratchlot Thrive deck. Like we don't have control tools here, but what we do have is quite a bit of Point Slam in round 2 and 3 with the Renfri's gangs. Especially round 3 you can get out a lot of points real quick. So I thought this would be fun to try out, and we're going to try it out. But before we get into the game, so there's one thing I want to mention, which is the comparison between this and Blue Stripes Commandos, the Renfri's gangs. So the advantage to Renfri's gang is it's worth 2 more points, which is really nice, and it's a deploy. The deploy means that when you play it, they summon out of your deck without needing the order, which means you don't need Inspired Zeal. The other thing is, with Operator is very good here because you can Operator out a Renfri's gang from your hand, get a bunch of copies, and then play that second Renfri's gang that's in your hand still, and send them all out for round 1. It plays differently than the Blue Stripes Commandos, because right, you're triggering that Blue Stripes Commandos usually every turn to summon out the one you made a copy of on their orders. But this works differently, so it's a bigger swing, but you don't have as many consistent points coming out. And the other important thing to note is you can't draw with the Pincer Maneuver. If you're going to run Pincer Maneuver, you can't draw the Renfri's gang because it's neutral. And the reason, or the last thing we want to mention here is that you can't Amphibious Assault either. Usually with Blue Stripes Commandos, you Amphibious Assault out a Blue Stripes Commando and then give it the Zeal to use its order. So you can't do that because they're not neutral, or because they're not Northern Realms cards. So you can't do that, and you also can't Roche Merciless to spawn one. So do keep that in mind. So there are disadvantages and advantages to this. Basically, the advantages are it's more points. The disadvantages are you have less ways to get the cards out. But yeah, that's the deck. A little longer description here, but hopefully the games will be pretty exciting. And I did want to share this because it seemed like it would be fun. getting into the first game here. Looks like we have double cross. Probably going to be a Renfri deck. I say probably as in 100%. But let's see what we have here. We do have our own Renfri. We're throwing that back in our deck for sure because we can't let him double cross a Renfri. That's just a loss. It's too much value if he gets to double cross it. So we're going to be putting that back along with Roach and Knickers because that's what we do with these kind of decks and these cards. So this could be difficult. Yeah, so Roach and Knickers going back, and then I think we just throw back Renfri. We don't want him to double cross it. That is just terrible for us. We'll throw down Don Mayor of Troy here. He does have Vilgefortz, possibly a Purify. If he has a Purify, this combo might not work. We will see here. Hold off on the Curse Scroll for a turn, just in case. Just in case we do like change what card we want to draw. He's deciding something. Light Maker. Okay, he's got his tempo going. That's fine. Set our shield. So yeah, we'll draw here. We do want our Operator. And then we'll shuffle back probably one of the Scythemen here. We'll make our Renfri's Gang. And next turn we will draw and play Fultist. Actually, we'll draw Fultist now. There's a tiny chance he's playing Mill. And then a lot of the Renfri decks are actually just playing Traherne and Kingslayer to mess up the other Renfri decks. Because that's how problematic Renfri's gotten, is even the Renfri decks just run Banish and Mill just at least a little bit to try and get rid of her. So we want to make sure we have a King Fultus in hand. So Cantarella. He gets a Blue Striped Scout. That's pretty bad for him. Actually, it's pretty good because he does have Renfri's Gang. There's another one into his deck. We got the one gang. So we'll go King Fultus here and just start getting some more Renfri's Gangs to our deck. And then the idea, this is exactly how the deck is supposed to play, is we will play our Renfri's Gang if we need to this round and pull out a bunch to secure it with a big point swing. And then hopefully we'll have, we do have the Princess Pavetta to shuffle them back and then Vernon Roche them out of our deck. Or we can envoy them to set up to draw them round 3 as well. Okay, this is where it could get ugly if you steal something good here. Going full RNG on us. We get a Sergeant. He gets our Lock. It's kind of annoying, but it's not the worst card for him to take. Let's just throw it on Blue Striped Scout. Get another one of these Renfri's Gangs. Spawn some more. I'll be surprised if he keeps playing this round. There we go. There's the pass. So we don't have the most Renfri's Gangs in our deck. But we do have a good number, and we should be able to pull them out round 2 and do some pressure with that. Again, we want to make sure he double crosses before we play our actual Renfri, because that would be very bad. Okay, there's a second gang. We don't really want that. Let's put back Sergeant maybe, or Peller. Yeah, the Sergeant actually does good synergy with our deck here. Renfri's still in our deck. We've got 5 Renfri's Gangs in deck. So when we play it, it will be a 30-point play. That is quite good. We do want to make sure we get that Verdant Roach, though, because we do not want to end up round 3 without a way to play our Gangs if we do end up playing them here. As we're going to Princess Pavetta them back into our deck round 3, then we want to have Verdant Roach to play them. Just in case he's running... Okay, he's playing Mill on us. He's actually secretly playing Mill. We want a Monsters card with Consume. That'll just screw him up completely. Which one's Monsters? Divana Runestone. And... oh, Cursed Toad. Cursed Toad has Consume. And now we emote him. Because why not? Thanks. He's actually just running the Operator Kingslayer Mill stuff. That's kind of surprising. Which is also really good for us because he can't make more Kingslayers now. And we just shuffle cards into our deck, so we're actually not vulnerable to Mill anyway, but kind of funny. We do go Gang. We're gonna gang at some point this round. Let's do it now.
Boss doesn't like you.
Boom. 36 points. And that should be a problem for him. We're up by 44, and he's running mill cards. So it's looking very promising.
My loyalty is to imperial coin, not to the face.
He's gonna make a Renfri's
I
gang.
need.
Just the one. So he's not running Renfri's gang in his deck. That's kind of weird. He's not running Renfri's gang. So, is he a Renfri player? Let's go free company here. Is he even playing Renfri? Like, he has to be, right? It's only been units. This is so weird. Because he made one of these with a blue striped scout. So, we could pass, honestly, here. Yeah, he's playing Renfri. This guy's playing Renfri with no Renfri's gang. That's so weird. I guess he cut them for Kingslayers?
We follow Lethos.
Get hit with another mill card here. I guess he cut them for Kingslayers, but I mean, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Just banish this in case. Another Kingslayer. Maybe we pass. We're by so much, though. Okay, he's going to go with the double cross. Find out we don't have Renfri because we keep shuffling her back into our deck, so we can't get her. He's going to go with Vernon Roche. Okay, he's going to go here. Honestly, rows are getting pretty filled up, so we could pass soon.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
He's getting pretty close, too. I think we'll pass after this scythe then, since we have no space left. We should be good here. Like, he's going to win this round. We should have a really good setup for round 3. We have Pavetta, Vernon Roche. I think with Vernon Roche, Pavettas, we're going to have 2 cards in our deck, and then all of a sudden we're going to put in, like, 8 Renfri's gangs. Ah, Igni! Well, I mean, that hurt. that was pretty bad. Let's just Renfri's or Princess Pavetta now, just in case he's running like Xavier or something. Shuffle those back. I guess we can draw the Renfri's gang and not have to Vernon Roche it. Igni. Igni is the complete bane of this deck, by the way, just so you know. It's kind of funny he got us with Igni. It really was not expecting it. I think we pass here. So the thing is, he has not played Renfri. He did play Renfri's gang. Or he's not running Renfri's gang, but he is running Runemage. He's playing Renfri without the gang. I'm really not sure how I feel about that, other than very confused. This is not a bad hand. But I would like our Renfri. At least we have Triss, but he's going first, so I'd like to draw the Renfri if possible. If we draw an extra gang, we can shuffle it back into our deck, so it's not the biggest deal. Actually, we can just draw it anyway. Just draw it anyway, shuffle it back to the ladder guy or something. There's nothing else we want from our deck.
Is there anyone here to whom I can entrust my missive?
Ooh. Maybe we should have gone for that draw here.
How can I help?
Shuffle back here, draw Renfri. Because we're going to get Voimir from the... Once we pull out all the Renfri's gangs, we should get Voimir off of Vernon Roche. So I'm not too concerned there. We should have redrawn there. There's a Tibor, another gang. So he's weakening our Renfri's gang play quite a bit. So we'll just play it now, spread out a little bit. Only a 24-point play this time because he banished the one and Tibored another, but... it's still a good play. Like 24 is a lot. We do have a Renfri left, but he also has a Renfri left. Gonna go with a lock. It doesn't do anything. Let's go Vernon Roche here for our Voimir. Pretty good chance we get him. There he is. I honestly don't think we really needed him here. There is the Margarita lock. I mean, play Renfri.
It's Batiste. Go ahead, feel it.
Oh, he has a Tibor. That base copy could be really good. Yeah, this will give us 13. I guess the past one's the best one. We do this. Now, he also has a Renfri. But we can't last say our Renfri. Like, now he can do the same thing, get a Tibor back. But he could do that anyway, because he has last say. We knew we had Vilgefortz as well, to pull out our Scytheman. We are going to be up. Let's spread out our guys a little bit. The one armor from Vormir really helped against the Renfri that does damage to all the units. But 36, I believe, is outside of Renfri's reach. So we should be safe here and get a GG. There's Renfri. Still confused why I didn't run the gang. Guess he just wanted to mill us. Yeah, I don't think a single Renfri wins. Like, any of the leaders don't win here. The best thing he can get is the +9 from the 12 as the blessing. That gets him to 51, and then the 2 damage to everything with different powers. Be like 6, 11.
This I like.
We'll thank him again. Just because I'm bored. Alright, game 2 here. Double crossed again. That last guy playing Renfri Mill. Double cross. So I guess targeting other Renfri players while also having his own Renfri. Interesting. Now this time I expect the regular old Renfri stuff. So again, we do not want Renfri in our hand because then he could double cross it. And that's terrible. Okay, we are missing Operator, which is a key card. Operator is really good because it lets you summon out the rest of your Renfri's gangs. If you don't have it, it becomes much more difficult.
Yes.
Alright, we're going to have to Pincer maneuver to make sure he doesn't get anything good here. Let's go gang.
You heard about Tridam Ultimatum?
Go with the Pincer maneuver. We do want Donmir of Troy. Let's shuffle back Peller. The other thing about the shuffle back is we could shuffle to the top, and then his courier will have the wrong information. So we do want to do that. We do need Pavetta. And let's put back Envoy. Here comes the Kingslayer. What's he going to hit? Oh, nice. We don't need that. Play Donmir. We have good tempo here. So it looks like this guy's actually playing the same deck. He's just milling us. Well, not the same deck, but like similar Renfri mill. Oh, it's not Renfri. It's just regular mill. Double cross mill. No Renfri. Interesting. Mill usually doesn't have a lot of control outside of Vilgefortz and Invocation. And if he locks this, we can purify the locks. We're just going to play King Fultus. I think he'll go with the collar on it. And then we can purify it, and I'm not sure he'll be able to kill it. Or he can just do that. That's fine.
Elves must die.
Forgot about Assassination. We should have placed our King Fultus between the two Renfri's gangs because of Assassination. That would have been smarter. So we deserve that death. Although it was going to die anyway, he just collared it. Instead, collar and Assassination. Of course, then he wouldn't have a collar left, which saves us 3 points. I'm not sure what he's doing behind that, but we're going to purify so we have our Margarita lock if we want to. Isbell. So he's going full mill on us. Well, we have our Princess Pavetta, so we should be fine.
We can trust you.
This is probably getting purified. Hopefully he doesn't draw our good cards. Basically, this comes down to. I really want to double cross so we can keep our Renfri in our hand. Actually, we can keep Renfri in our hand anyway because he's not running Renfri. Yeah, so we can just keep Renfri in our hand very safely now. Okay, I didn't see what he got. Oh, we got Scytheman, right? What's he gonna look at? Probably take Rune Mage. Good tempo. Shout out to anyone who remembers the Isbell bug. Let me know if you were around when that was in the game, because that was annoying. Let me know in the comments if you were around when the Isbell bug was in the game. Or if you want to know what it was, because I can just say what it was. Like, the Isbell bug was when you used Isbell's order, there was a chance, like, it wasn't guaranteed, there's a chance if you used Isbell's order, your opponent would not get a card. Like, you'd just get a card and they wouldn't. Which is not how the card's designed. And it was super annoying because you'd run people exploiting it sometimes. They'd, like, just exploit it. Okay, so we have Golden Necker Bill. Okay, that was a thing before. He's gonna revive. Nothing with the Necromancy? That was a terrible, terrible Golden Necker. We can go up 2 cards by passing, which we're gonna do. But yeah, if you guys remember that bug with Isbell, let me know in the comments. He's deciding something. Like, we don't care that we're going down with Mill here. It's probably, what's he shuffling back? Invocation? Yeah, Invocation. We don't care. Like, normally you want to win round 1 at all costs versus Mill, so you don't get milled out round 2. And, like, you can draw cards round 3. But we have Pavetta, so we're kind of immune to this. We can summon out all of our Renfri's gangs and shuffle them back round 3. Or this round. We want Blue Stripes Commando's really good, or Scout's really good because it spawns 1. That sets us up. So it looks pretty good. Got 3 Renfri's gangs in our deck. It should be the tempo we need for this round. I don't think this guy can mill us, so we should be pretty much set here. I didn't want to just face mill with this deck. But I mean, I'll take it if that's what people are running. It's kind of funny. I wanted to try it out versus good decks. So I think we lose to stuff like Sir Scratch combo. And I think we lose to a couple of the other popular decks. But I think we might... Just want to see what we beat here. We're going to lose our... Ooh, that one hurts. That one hurts. So we can't Renfri's gang round 2 and 3 then. So... Let's just move that to the top in case he wants to Kingslayer it. We don't want that card.
Music marries cultures, connects folk to one another.
So we didn't draw it. What do we squirrel from him? I guess he might have an Alyssa. Let's just go Pavetta here. Shuffle back our 2 Renfri's gangs. Here's the thing though, he's not running Renfri and he's used his leader. So we can go up cards quite easily. Yeah, see, like, if you wanted to... We put that on top so he doesn't get anything good with Cantarella. Like I'm saying here, like, we don't really need the gang for round 3. Renfri should kind of just carry round 3 on her own. Move this to the top in case he has... Well, he doesn't have coup, but like in case he Kingslayers or something. Let's just make another one of these. And just see if we can save either the gang or Renfri for round 3. Either one should be sufficient, but the gang's more consistent. Since he's running Golden Necker, there's no Igni. We don't have to worry about that. And Renfri's gang should just win round 3 for free. And then probably just use Renfri this round. We'll see how it goes. We might not need to use either, honestly. Mill is very low tempo.
Try not to scream so. Make my hand wobble.
We could just Operator. I think we would play Renfri and set up our leader. Yeah, you can't have us. You can't have Artud either to give us spying. And Invocation's this, you can't use it, so it's fine. We can board clear here, I think, with 8 damage. Yeah. I think we just board clear here, go up 2 cards round 3, and then we go hit him with the Renfri's gang for a GG. There's Tibor.
We'll be reaping black-clad heads.
We'll draw this next round. Hit Squirrel on, I guess, the Golden Necker, just in case. And he's been milling us, but we still have more cards left than he does. He passes. And although we have a bunch of dead cards in our hand, once we play Renfri's gang, we should just win. Which is what's going to happen next round. Got Free Company and Vormir too for our extra points. Scythen will be a good 4 provision card then. If you're looking forward to, okay, that's annoying, but whatever.
Just
Get our extra 3 points here. Huh, that's an interesting tech choice. Let's do our gang now. Whoop. You get 4 out. 3 from the deck, the one we just played. Looking pretty good here, and that's a GG.
Onward! Attack!
Alright, Blood Scent here. So vampires, Vampire Renfri's a pretty common deck. That could be this. Put Necker's back. We don't need to hold on to 2. Like, holding on to the 2 gangs can be useful if you draw them, because then round 2 you can play one, or you can play the second one to get out all the ones you've created. But since we have the Operator, we don't have to worry about that. Operator does the same thing. Now he probably, well, if he's Renfri, he probably has the Purify Vampire in here, or Peller. This is probably getting Purified. If it's not Renfri, he's going to have the Purify Special. Let's throw down our Operator here. I think it's better to Operator. Well, actually, play King Foltest first. He gets a point, but then if he's on the wrong side, we won't spawn the Renfri's gang next to him, so we'll do the Operator first.
Sharpen the bolts, boys!
Going for some Bronze Engines here. I think we just draw a Renfri with our Cursed Scroll. It's probably worth it.
Press those vermin!
But we don't have to yet. Two Necrots is a lot of continuous pressure to be applied to us. A lot of engine value in his bronzes here.
Bloody non-humans.
Yeah, he would have moved us already if he had the drowners.
No horse, I said. Wanted the
We do get an
exercise.
extra envoy here instead of Renfri's gang, but I want less targets from bleeding on if possible. We lose one gang, but we gain about 5. We'll gain 5 points. They won't get all bleeding. But now it doesn't matter because he has the toad. So Pavetta. We're trying. I think we're gonna have to Renfri this round, which is why we're playing all these cards. We're drawing our cards here. I think we'll go with the tempo from our gang. I think we're gonna need it. How many do we have? 4. It's a 30-point play. I think we do it.
You heard about Tridam Ultimate?
Hopefully that's enough. He's keeping up with just bronzes, which is annoying. But that's what happens when your opponent has engine cards. We don't have control. He's got his own Renfri's gang, so he is running Renfri. What a surprise, I know. Not sure we're going to get our Rune Mage, so I think we'll just go with our last draw here. So let's draw Scout, and then we'll put back the Scout, get the extra 2 points, and then we'll play our Renfri.
I have scores to settle.
Oh, we just got Pride anyway. That's pretty good. And then 8 damage. Set the lowest to 12 is probably going to be nice because we're bleeding on a bunch of stuff. That's pretty good. We're probably going to have to use this round 1, this leader. We'll see if he has his own Renfri if he wants to pass. Oriana could be scary, but I don't know if they usually run her. I haven't seen her very much. She's going to spam out leaders here, which means that he might have his Renfri or he's bluffing us. So I think we'll use our Renfri ability here. It'll be worth 20. And then we'll go move this to the top and just play our Voimir out. Hopefully that's enough. We'll pass after this. Just hope it's enough here. We're up by 29, so he's gonna need his own Renfri or Oriana, I think.
Yeah, it's Batiste. Go ahead.
He does have his own Renfri. If he doesn't use the leader, we can pass. So I don't think we'll keep up. He's just going to use it. That will get him a win on even. At least Vormir's armor blocks some, but he's going to have too much bleeding here. So watch this. We're at 69. Nice. If we pass. Minus 10 from bleeding. It's a lot. At least we have a bunch of gangs. We have Pavetta and Vernon Roche. Yeah, we should be able to do a bunch of Renfri gang stuff. We kind of have to hope there's no Igni in his deck. But what are you going to do, right? We have no way to boost anything taller than 6. Unless we maybe get a consume off Rune Mage or something. So we just have to kind of hope there's no Igni. There's a squirrel. We'll probably lose a gang there. Let's go with our Rune Mage. At least he has no more Renfri. Let's go with the Northern Realms card. Knight or Cutthroat? Feeling Cutthroat for 7 value over a few turns. So there's his Rune Mage as well. Let's see what he gets. Plumard. Okay, it's not that bad. Our card was better, for whatever that's worth. Got a lot of gangs in our graveyard. How many in our deck? 3. So with 24 point play from our hand, and then we could Pavetta round 3. That's probably good enough. Let's just Pavetta now. I don't think we're gonna need them all because, well, we won't get them all, right? Because we'll just summon out as many as possible to a row, and it won't be all of them, and then we can save a few for round 3.
I sense strong magic.
As I was thinking, 24 would be good, but then he does have the, what's his name? The big guy, Regis. Alright, we got a whole bunch of them out. We should have a few left for round 3 as well still. And that was a 42 point play. That's pretty big. And yeah, we just played out a whole bunch of points. We still have 2 left for round 3. It's not the best, but hopefully it's good enough. Oh no, not another Igni. No, our field. That's probably GG. It was still kind of funny.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, a time to die.
Here comes Regis too, right?
I know you're in trouble.
Yeah, like the 24 wasn't gonna. I guess the 24 would have been enough. Oh well, GG.
Damn it.
Another Blood Scent player. We'll see if it's Renfri again. It probably. Oh, I was gonna say it probably is, but then we have the Bleeding Stratagem. That is interesting. What's it gonna be, my friend? Catacan. Interesting. Good defender. And we want our Vernon Roche. We're missing Operator, which is unfortunate, but we have everything else we want, so it's probably good enough. So it's not a Renfri deck. So our King Foltest might just die. So we do want to keep that in mind. Let's go with our gang here. That being said, Vampire's not known for being that much control. Like, they have a lot of damage over time, but not known for like having tons of control on demand. And also, we don't have to worry about a Renfri, which is nice. Go King Foltest. Knicker's coming out. Kind of curious what else he's going to be doing. If it's going to be the Megascope version with Necromancer's Tome. This is going to be like vampire, just like pure vampires. We'll see. Now we lock the Flutter. It was more important to set our stuff up first. And now next turn we purify Fultus to dodge a Gel, because he won't have this on demand, the order. Because Gels does 3 damage if it's bleeding, and next turn we can purify. And then if he's holding the Gels, it won't do anything to the King Fultus at least. He can keep giving us guys in our deck. He might not have it, but just in case, this is probably a safe play. There is Detlef. Good value for him. We can keep spawning cards though, so that's fine. Let's go with an Envoy here. We could stack a Gang for next round. I think we'll put a Peller instead. I think we might Renfri this round. We'll see. Honestly, this could be Devotion to Vampires with the Unseen Elder. That would be interesting. 4 gangs. So Naglfar. Okay. So yeah, I think this is probably Devotion Vampires. Katakan and the Zendraga Queen and Naglfar make me think it's Devotion Vampires. Interesting. Now we might Renfri right now. Or we could pass. We have Pavetta Roche, so we can just do round 3 like normal. Let's just draw here, put another gang in our deck, and then play Renfri next turn if we need to.
Regroup.
We do have 2 turns, or 2 rounds of Renfri's gangs, right? Because we can go... Oh, we didn't Envoy the one to the top of our deck. Ooh, we should have done that. Oh, he did have Gale. Okay. So we're going to be out of here then. Alright, looking like we really should have Envoyed that one gang to the top of our deck. But I thought we'd get to use the Envoy again and do it again. That was a mistake. We should have put the gang on top. It only becomes bad if he pushes round 2 though, and I think if it's Devotion Vampires, he's going to go for a long round 3 with Unseen Elders, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. It just potentially could be a problem. We can draw it with Triss, so it doesn't matter. So that's fine. We can just draw the gang with Triss. But he's going to pass anyway. We've got 2 in our graveyard. We may as well Pavetta. I'm really hoping this actually is Devotion Vampires, because it means we won't get Igni'd again. I've had enough Ignis for today, even though they were kind of funny. We have 8 Renfri's gangs, and we did not draw one. That's pretty funny. We'll get one with Triss. And we'll just kind of see if we've got the tempo or not to deal with him. Go Squirrel. We'll banish the Flutter just in case there's a Necromancer's Tome or something. And from here, let's see what he does. There's a Nakarot. We have some pretty low value cards here. We have 8. So we put 1 unit in the same row as them.
They'll pay for my stolen birth.
And that unit's gonna be Renfri, because this way, if we put Renfri in the same row, there is, well, it's really good we got those two. There's a chance that he will, like, if he'd have to damage the Renfri in case he's running an Igni to hit all of our gangs, but we'll see. And then we can use our leader too. Boost something to 12. Despite how popular Renfri is, how annoying she is, she does have fantastic artwork on the card. Will not deny that. The loading screen, pretty good too. Oh, so Unseen Elder is he gonna tick?
Be secure.
So is Devotion Vampires, we're safe from an Igni. We'll just go right in here then and draw our Renfri's gang. We could destroy the Unseen Elder here. I'll put this back. Draw the gang. So like I said, we could destroy Unseen Elder right now. I'm more concerned about a Flighter, honestly. Maybe where we shouldn't be. What's Unseen Elder? 2 a turn. Flighter's more than that. Yeah, the Flighter's the scary card here. Like we could... He's definitely going to get the extra... Maybe it's more than 2 a turn. No, it's probably just 2 a turn. The Unseen Elder. We'll destroy that and go gang. We go from 16 right up to 67. Very nice. All of our Renfri's gangs, whole bunch of points. And now we just see if the point slam from the Renfri's gangs will outvalue his vampire engines or not. Renfri's gonna die, so we'll have space on her row for the Scythemen. The question is just, will it be fast enough to get those points before everything gets bled out of being boosted? Free Company's gonna boost them too. There's Oriana. Yeah, it's gonna be engines versus point slam here. It's gonna be a race. Is he gonna do it in time or not? Although, here the Unseen Elder is gonna hurt him because we'll do this now. Look for a lock card off Nilfgaard from the Rune Mage. We do get Rune Mage. Can we get a lock card? We do not. Maybe the Mentor is good though. We'll see how many points he gives us. With Devotion Vampires, you can't draw well a lot of the time. It's one of the downsides, but he did draw well. So we go Free Company. And then we go with the Scythemen. Hopefully, Renfri will be dead by then. I really expected her to get bleeding by now. Okay, there's the bleeding. And we go Free Company, Scythemen, and hopefully that's pretty good. He's catching up, but let's just do Scythemen first, actually. He's going to start bleeding the boosted cards. Because most of these won't even get boosted if we do play the Free Company. A lot of bleeding. He does have a Garkin and an Oriana. Ooh, he's catching up, catching up. He does have a Ragus. But with the Free Company boost, I think we're out of Ragus range. That was a pretty close race, but I think we're barely going to win it. But let's see here. There's the Ragus. We win by 7. Good game there. Back in the deck editor here then. If we take a look at the deck, what do I think about it? Would I change? It was a bit of fun trying something a little different like this. Anything that relies on big engine stuff is kind of successful against Renfri. They lack removal a lot of the time, so greedy stuff is pretty good. Although, Nilfgaard in particular, Nilfgaard Renfris do have more removal. Stuff like Vilgeforts and Ignis, so you gotta be careful about those. And Igni in general is kind of the bane of this deck. I'm actually a little surprised we ran into 2 Ignis today. Thought we might get like 1 at the most. But no, just hit by Igni twice, and it was kind of funny, but we did manage to recover in one of those games, the other one not so much. But overall, the deck, I think, will struggle against other engine decks without more control. But it was fun to try out and see the difference between Blue Stripes Commandos and Renfri's Gangs. Show them Renfri's Commandos in this deck. That's the name of this deck, Renfri's Commandos. That's what we're changing the name to. Renfri's Commandos. Makes sense. Now, as far as actual changes to the deck here, I think we could run our own Igni, might be a strong option. Or another control type card would be worth it. It's also worth pointing out, getting King Foltest off of Equirax isn't the worst, but we do have Renfri in the deck, so I'm not sure I want to do that. But yeah, with Pincer Maneuver and Curse Scroll, I think the card slots we can change are a couple of the bronzes. Scythemans are nice, but you don't always get them to work. Ladder's probably not necessary, so it's going to be a second squirrel or a fourth. Up to you. And then Margarita you could swap out. I like the lock. And Free Company, Knickers, and Roach are potential swaps if you want to use control instead, right? Their round 1 tempo is good, and the thinning is good. But if you want to go with more power cards, you could throw in an Igni. I would not say that's a bad idea. Other than that, a lot of these cards are all required for the deck, so most of them you can't swap. But it was interesting to play this, and I had some fun with it. I'm not sure it's the best deck. I think we may have gotten lucky in a couple of our matches. Like, Mill, this deck obliterates Mill. It's, like, not even funny. Because Mill decks, if you can't mill the opponent out with Mill decks, you kind of are doomed. If you can't get them with good mills, then the deck goes a lot worse. And we can just Pincer Maneuver our 2 good cards and not have to worry about that. So that is a nice advantage there. But yeah, so deck seems pretty decent. I'm not sure I'd say it's really strong. I think we have some good matchups, but it was fun to use and made Renfri feel a little less toxic. But yeah, that'll be it for this one, guys. Let me know what decks you want to see next time. This one was quite interesting. We'll have a couple ideas for the next ones, but when I get around to finishing them, if you guys leave any suggestions, I'll make those next. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel for more, and you can check out some more videos over here, and thanks for watching.